Hello, this is Sandy Fritz, and I wanted to show you some of the advantages with the eBooks. As a student at Health Enrichment Center, you get the paper book and the eBook, but it's helpful to um, really get to use that eBook. There are a lot of features there that you can really help organize your studying. Probably one of the most advantageous is the read to feature that I want to show you. So this will be loaded up on Canvas, as was explained in the previous video, and it goes onto a platform called Vital Source. And then the various books that you might have, and you'll have two from Health Enrichment Center, would be Fundamentals of Therapeutic Massage and Essential Science for Therapeutic Massage. So I've got Fundamentals of Therapeutic Massage up on right now, and I have had this book open multiple times, so I'm going to hit the continue reading button here. And as it loads up, over here on the side, you've got some navigation. So if I hit the little house here, home, that takes me back to this start page. And then I come back, and over here it will give you table of contents, and you can search, and there's a little notebook feature where you can take some notes, and it can take you just to the figures. So over here on the side, these are the various figures in chapter 1. And you can also make flashcards on this. I don't have any to load, but that's another feature that you can use with this. So I've minimized the screen here over here on the side a little bit. And I want to show you some other things that you can do with this. Now I have some vision issues related to glaucoma, so I am considered low vision. So I'm going to move this up here. So down here on settings, this is your little settings icon. I have a link here, a tab, where I can make this bigger. Oops, that made it smaller. And so that's about where I would need this for me to be able to read it without my reading glasses. I'm going to minimize it a little bit here so it's easier to show some stuff. So in chapter 1 then, this gives you all your chapter outline. And if you wanted to go to a particular area, you just click on it, and it will take you right to that section in the book, which makes it kind of nice. And then you can go back. And then you have your chapter objectives. You have key terms, and if you click these, they'll take you to where that key term is in the book. And you can also highlight. So if I highlight something, it takes it there, and it can also be color-coded. So is this something I need to pay attention to or not? And down you go, and it just takes takes you through the chapter. And I am going to show you now this read out loud. So it's this little icon down here. And settings. So this is what will come up. And then if you hit the settings, you can pick your voice that you want. There's David, Mark, and Zira. So let's listen to Mark. And that will take care of that. And hopefully you'll be able to hear this on the computer.
Chapter 1. Therapeutic Massage as a Profession. Chapter Outline. Professional Touch. Touch. Touch as communication. Professional classifications of touch. Physical and psychological perspectives on professional touch. Professionalism in therapeutic massage. Specialized body of knowledge.
If I want to go to another section.
Entry-level practice. Orientation to service. Commonly defining massage. Clarifying definitions for the massage therapy profession.
And
success as a massage therapist.
So where
Summary.
it's highlighted here is where
Chapter
it's reading.
objectives. After complete. For defined.
So I know where I'm at by watching the yellow.
Vocation. http://
And it does.
You are embarking on a.
Here we go.
Learning means that you are using experiences to gather and evaluate information, determining its meaning and value. In addition, you are encoding memory, what you have learned, into a web of nerve connections that makes the information retrievable and usable.
So I can pause it. And I can still scroll through here if I want to do something. And start it again.
Process means that you are using an ongoing series of actions that produces a measurable and desirable outcome. In this case, the outcome is that you become a highly skilled and knowledgeable massage therapist. Education is just as much about asking questions as it is about seeking answers. Information accumulated during an educational process, coupled with the ability to formulate insightful and productive questions, gives learners the opportunity to make thoughtful decisions. Are decisions answers?
Good learning.
Do answers come from thoughtful situational decisions?
Or you
are answers valid?
Just listen and follow.
Some questions seem to have easy answers. For example, what is the color of grass? Quickly we jump to the answer green. However, is that always the correct answer?
Close that and continue to chase around my Zoom share tab here. So I can also print pages. Here's where I make things bigger or smaller. Here's where I have it read to me. Here's the highlighter. And it gives you some little ideas about what's important here. So if I want to highlight stuff pink where I need to look at it a little bit more, I just scroll down and there it is. So I can find it. So that is how you can use the various features. And then I want to show you what the chapter looks like in general. It's a general layout of the chapter. So you start with the front material that goes with this, the name of the chapter. Here's your table of contents for that chapter, chapter objectives, glossary, key terms. These are terms you should be able to use and understand what they mean. Then there's an opening that talks to you about how this book is going to progress, what you're going to do with your study, how to become your own teacher using the book. If there is something blue right in here, you can click on it and it'll take you to the figure. And then each of these initial sections is about a 15-minute study period. So there's 16 chapters in this book, but each chapter has its own subsections. And the content here, the professional touch now, it has its own section objectives. So this would be a study segment of about 15 minutes. And there's usually some sort of a proficiency exercise, something that is going to help you convert the information from short-term memory to long-term memory. And these are really good to do. The textbook is written on really solid learning strategies. So, and then there's other features here, focus on professionalism. This feature is asking you questions or stimulating thoughts related to how you are going to make this information real when you are moving or thinking about professional practice, how you're going to communicate, how you're going to critically think, how you're going to solve problems. These things also break up the text in through here. So that's really helpful for a lot of people to have different features on the screen. There are also lots of boxes which expand or highlight information. So now we get to another subsection, and we are, after taking a little brain break and doing some of these activities and go do your dishes or whatever, and you can come back and start again without your brain overloading. So at the end here, we've completed this section, and now we're going to, so this is almost like a chapter within a chapter. Here you go. This is what you would want to have for your first study segment. You take it down. Any of these areas that are a highlight's a good place to just take a little break, stare out the window. Notice here that we're talking about cultural identity, gender identity, diversity, these sorts of things that are very important as we interact with other people in a respectful way. Okay, so now that's done, and you're going to want to take a longer break now. And we're into another mini chapter within the chapter. And so this content is going to talk about how touch is perceived in the professional environment. Same pattern. You've got your main objective here, and then you've got your section objective and the topic headings. And that would be enough right there. Because there's not only just reading it, but there's also stopping and thinking about it. Another, now, professionalism and therapeutic massage. Our chapter objectives and how we are achieving those with our section objectives. And going down and thinking about what is it going to be like for me as a massage therapist? How do I see myself as a professional? And again, we've got illustrations, we've got boxes, and definitions, and attempting to understand how the career of therapeutic massage fits into this. Next section, a chapter within a chapter. So we've got the objectives and our section objectives, and nice illustrations, boxes, goes through briefly, talks about our legacy, our history. It's very important that we understand that, how it has all fit together, what has happened to bring us to where we are now. Proficiency exercise helps solidify the information you just read, taking it from short-term memory to long-term memory. A mentoring tip. Now this is where myself as an author, and Luke is, my son, is co-author on these books. We step out and we look at this and we go, if you were asking me how this is important, as somebody who's been in the profession a long time, here are some of the things I would point out to you as important. So unlike the professional applications, these are a little bit more personal. It's like me having a chat or Luke having a chat. Leadership, another mentoring tip, and then another section. Very important, Anne Blair Kennedy's research and her and others is the foundation for this framework. I'm very thrilled that she allowed me to use her work. And this sets the stage for how the book is going to be laid out into its other chapters. And then we have a little summary. Pictures of hope. And then it tells you all of the stuff that is available for you on the Evolve site. And either your instructor can set up an Evolve course, or you can get on Evolve yourself. For Health Enrichment Center students, all of this is then presented to you through the Learning Management System interface on Canvas. All of the references, which are very important. And now a new feature in this edition of the textbook, at the end of every chapter, there's a segment called Multiple Choice Questions for Discussion and Review. The instructor can use this a lot of different ways. The answers with the rationales are found on the Evolve site under Content Updates. It's divided into two areas: factual recall, or more definition type questions, and further on, there's application, concept identification, and synthesis, where you have to use more of a critical thinking process. So hopefully you'll challenge yourself with these questions. This is part of the new focus on MBLEX preparation. And use these as a discussion and figure out why one of these is the more appropriate answer and why the others are not, and use it as an opening to discuss how you view things. What do you want to have in the future? And these are in all the chapters now. And then in this very first chapter, because it's going to ask you to write your own questions. And this gives you a little bit of idea about how you can do that. And then you can complete this activity. Then we'll move on to chapter 2, which is setup. And there's no need for an additional ethics book. This is very comprehensive. And let me take a look at the chapter outline here. So we talk about ethics, scope of practice, what's evidence-based and evidence-informed practice, professional boundaries, therapeutic relationship, critical thinking and decision-making, communication skills. And each of these is, so this is the big topic area, the chapter that encompasses this whole content piece. And then each of these are like mini chapters within the book, each with their own section objectives. So here's the table of contents for the whole book. And I want to let you know that this is put together into 4 units that can be used in a lot of different ways. But the first unit is all about professionalism and professional practice. By reading through here, you can see what topics we have covered. And I want to point out that the entire chapter 3, let's take a look at that, has been totally rewritten and redesigned so that we're covering extensively what is the broad sweep of massage in business and career pathways. What does every massage therapist need to understand? And then what's it like to take this foundation to be an employee? And how are you paid, and how does that work, and what are the responsibilities of the employer? And then what's it like to be self-employed? And then again, if we go all the way to the end, we see the same pattern at the end. Where I'm trying to get to the test questions at the end. So, you know, this is a really good example of how playing around with your technology gives you so many things to, you know, just increase your ability to be more comfortable with everything that's here and not get too concerned if you have to play around with it like I'm doing right now to make things work the way I would like them to. So unit 2, let's get to that one, is Foundations of Massage Benefit, from Massage Benefit. And here is where we explore our research literacy, how to do a research search, literature search, indications and content indications, and then our hygiene, sanitation, and safety. And the requirements for that now, based on our working within the COVID world, the only thing that was not covered in depth in this chapter was use of masks all the time, as opposed to under certain circumstances. So the next unit would, as I get to the table of contents here, the next unit would be unit 3, And that's the whole massage process. That's for body mechanics, ergonomics, your equipment, how do you drape, massage methods, and then assessment procedures. And then the final unit we call Beyond the Basics. And let's get to that. So Beyond the Basics unit expands on all of the information that is the foundation for massage therapy. And here is where then we delve into a focus for specialization or additional study. So we talk about in this unit here things like lymphatic focus, or connective tissue focus, or hydrotherapy, or essential oils, or use of various tools and implants. This chapter is specific about, or this unit or chapter is specific about all the different places you can work and how specialization might evolve from that. Unit 14, how do we specifically adapt to all of these different unique and overarching issues that our clients can have, including animal massage. I'm the only textbook author that has included that as a segment. So this gives you a good overview on what you would need to practice in these settings and sets the stage for, this is oncology care, sets the stage for you to move towards a specialization if that is what you wanted to do. And at the very end of this, all the way down, we have some excellent appendices. We have indications and contraindications, skin pathology, pharmacology, and then our new appendix, human trafficking, and how to recognize it and what to do. So this is sufficient to provide the platform for you to discuss this in class, and many states are now requiring something along these lines with this. So this gives you a general overview on how you can make use of the eBook, as well as some of the new features that are in these new editions. And that's it for now.